friends. So come in, float those hearts, hit those thumbs up on YouTube, and let's say hello today. So I'm going to turn this camera just a tad for you, a little bit off camera. There we go. I think we're good now. And we're going to be using some Ooh La La prints today. And if you're interested in these, just put link in the comments and I'll give you Kelly's link. That's my friend Kelly. I'm doing these for the show for her. And so we're going to take some surfaces and do a few things with these today and some little frames. So I'm going to show you a few of them. And this is a kit. This is a whole kit. And I've just got a few of them to show you. So this is the one in there. This is a whole kit that you can do for journaling or you can do for different crafting. Hello, Tracy. Good to see you today. Now, let me make sure that I can see you over here on the laptop as well. There we are. Make sure I can see everybody in comments, and I will try to see the comments the best I can today. Hello, hello. Good to see you this morning. Come on in. If you're not following me on Craft Around the Clock, give that a follow as well on Facebook, because it's a private group, but you do have to join and answer the questions, but it's a great place to find all kinds of creating ideas. And this weekend is Vintage and Thrifted event, and you don't want to miss that either, because you're going to get a lot of great ideas. Friday is our selling day, and Saturday is the creators. So here we go on the Ooh La La. These are the little squares, so these will fit behind like your little square frames. So you've got little square ones. I've even got one like this, and this is Form Flex compound, so it does bend. And you can put these on there. And then here's the little small oval ones, and you've got your little bitty small frames. Let me find that one I have right here. You can use these. So these are made for the frames, and mostly a lot of these will fit in other frames as well, but I think she did these for the IOD frames. And then here you can use the little bit bigger frame. This one is not an IOD, but I do love this one. I got it off of Amazon, and it is in my shop. So those are some ideas of what you can do with this page. And then here's a print that I printed out in a 5x7. These are a download, so you can print them however you want. I'll put that on there. And then here's a sheet. And these I put down as a 5x7. So I could put those in some frames or on one of these pieces as well. And this is one of the, let me get the regular sized here. This is your A3 or 8x10. Just a couple of, aren't those pretty? They've got a lot of the Victorian look like I love. So we will do this one, and then we're going to take a couple of these frames and show you a few things with those. Hey, good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Miss Mary. So welcome on in today. That's what I'm going to be working with you. And I've got my paint right here, and I went ahead. This was the same kind of frame I used the other day. I had one left, and I went ahead and put a little bit of the green, which is the first Frost from Paint Pixie, on here with my palette knife, because I had green left last night and I wanted to go ahead and use it up, not waste it. Bye, sweetheart. Have a good day. I'll see you in a little bit. And now I'm using the Dreamsicle. You just put a little bit on the back, just like I always do, but I'm putting two colors on here, and I'll show you the one that I did for YouTube. You can go there and watch that video as well. Hello, Connie. Hey, Queen. Good to see you. Aren't those pretty papers? They are a little bit different. They're more of a pastel, a little bit different than I use sometimes, but I still love it all. I love any kind of Victorian. So hopefully my husband will hear today about going back to work. He is feeling much better. And this is just going to be a little pale. I'm just putting a little bit on the edges and then spreading it out. My friend Stephanie from the Vintage Pebble taught me how to do this, and I have been hooked on this way to do chippy ever since. I think it was several years ago, and I have been loving the chippy method. And then we might need a little bit on our frame, but we'll just kind of see. So you just put a little bit on the edge and then just scrape it, spread it out. That's all we're doing, just spreading it with that little bit of chippiness. And then you've got both colors on the sides. It just gives it a little pretty look there. And then I'm gonna put a little bit on the front here. So I'm gonna go back with this color first. Hello, Teresa, good morning. Linda, great. So welcome on into my YouTube channel as well. For those of you who do not subscribe to my YouTube, go there as well. We appreciate that. When there's any avenues that we can be on, that we're gonna try to do that. I also have Pinterest, Instagram, all the good things. And see, I'm just putting a little bit on the edge because I don't think we'll be able to see a lot of it with that print, but I'll go ahead and cover it just in case. And if you wanted to put it on the whole thing and put a smaller print, you can do that too. So just kind of work with it the best that you like. And I think these two colors are beautiful. These are just beautiful paint pixie colors that go with these prints. The first frost is a metallic. Love the color. It's kind of a mint green, almost a mint green. It's okay if you get a little bit out there. It's okay. All right. So we'll just kind of leave that like it is. Dry it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and clean this. Go ahead and get our little palette knife clean so you don't have paint stuck on it. Hey, Ann. Hey, Tabitha. Good to see you today. Hey, Diane. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for those blessings. Hey, Luann, good to see you today. Welcome on into my YouTube. All right, let's get this dried up just a little bit. And I did, in the comments, you will see my Paint Pixie code and a discount. She does have some things on sale. She has paint brushes right now, buy one, get one free. Great time to get them. These are the best paint brushes I've used. I'm sad they're going, but you have to do what you got to do. And so Miss Josie's not going to be able to carry those anymore. And so go ahead and get you a good deal. The 15% off is off the regular price merchandise. So grab you up some other things while you're in there. Paint. I love this paint. As y'all know, the pigments are made from the earth. Okay, y'all, we may have to take a little bit off the side, just a tad. Let's see, I think we'll take it off. I kind of like that lace. I don't want to take it off that, so we may just have to sand it a little bit, but I think I'll just go ahead and take just a little bit. And y'all, I just use my fingers. It does not have to be even or perfect. If you like perfect, then just use your cutting tool or one of the rulers. But I think I'm okay with that. All right, let's use some Forcefield. This is a Paint Pixie medium for sealing or decoupaging. I'm feeling great today, Jackie. How about you? He is feeling good. He is. He's done really well with therapy and all of that. Today he went to therapy, I think, yesterday. Today he's got to go see about something else. But he drove all the way on that trip and did fine with it. We got out and stretched. Now, that when we went through Atlanta and got stuck through there for, I think it was hours, you know, that kind of was a lot on him. But we got out and stretched just as soon as we could. And but he's doing really well with it, and the shot definitely helped. So we're hoping kind of the therapy will help him kind of heal. Hey, Mary from Ocean Breeze and me. Hey, Pat. I'm just giving it a quick little tacky dry because I am not going to iron these today. You may put something at the top of that one. So let's put it, trying to think, do we want to put one of these? Hold on now. Looking. Would that be too much on the top there? Kind of like that. Let's see what else we've got. I've got a little piece here that might look good. This is a piece that broke off of one of my, oh, I like that, molds. We might just use that. That might be pretty. Let's do that. Just doing some decoupage today, but y'all, you could do these frames. It doesn't have to have decoupage on it. You can just put molds on there. You can put something you draw, anything that you want to do. This is just to give you inspiration when we show you things, but you do what you like and do you. I'm just going to take our plastic bag today and mow that on there. Now, if you also wanted to do this and cut these little, whoops, I just pulled it completely off. Let me get a little bit more on here. I want it to be a little tacky, but I might have dried it too much. Let's put that back on. And I think this is just regular paper. I don't think this is rice paper. I think it's regular paper. There we go. Don't pull too much. But you could also cut it right here where these little slits are. You can take your X-Acto knife. I'll get a little bit more here. Hold on. Just a little tad. That wasn't wanting to hold a little bit. I just want a light coat, because if you put too much, it can bleed through. There we go. All right, let's put a little bit right here. There we go. Now we got it. Now we got it. Now it's wanting to stick. Sometimes you just gotta put a little bit more. You're sitting on the beach, Miss Mary. Nice. Oh, great. Good. Hold on, y'all. I was just making sure I could see there. All right, so we got that. So we could go ahead and cut if you wanted to. We're going to dry it just a little bit. Let me see if I see the X-Acto knife. I do, right here. Let's dry it. Let's see how that looks. And then I might put a little wax on it. We'll make sure it's kind of dry before we cut it, though. And sometimes it does have to dry a little bit. But the heat from your hands helps put that on as well. And I found that some surfaces, just depending on what they are, sometimes they need a little extra. I don't know what it is about them. Maybe it's because it's an inexpensive wood and it just doesn't work as well. But you can just go down this little line here. Let's see if I can get it to cut the correct direction here. Hold on. This is just something extra you can do just to give it another look. It just kind of cuts your paper, but it also kind of gives it a little different effect. So that's something that you can do as well. And then we can go back with a little bit of wax. Let's do a little bit of the Bee's Knees. That is by Paint Pixie as well. I'm just going to use my little brush here, not put a lot, just some on the end here. Just going to put a little bit of the wax. Now you can cut those a little bit more, and something else, you see that I cut that to show you. She also has, if you've got the IOD mold that just came out called Bookish. That's the ends of the books. Danielle showed that this week on Craft Round the Clock. She had the Bookish and she showed using a paper on that. This kit has the book papers that you can put on there as well with this selection that I have today. So you can get the book to put on there. I have not gotten the mold yet. It's sold out, so I'm on the back order, and hopefully Meryl will get that in when she gets back. She's waiting. It's just a little bit of wax, just gives it a little something, okay? Now let's just paint this up, and I think we'll just paint it up in a one color. I don't think we'll worry about a lot of color on this. I think we'll just paint it up. And we paint it up. This one has a little of the pink instead of as much of the other colors. So I'm going to grab the pink and put a little bit of the cotton candy on here. And I think I'll paint that piece. So because I didn't have as much of the Dreamsicle in this one has a little bit more pink. It has both. It's kind of hard to see, but there is some of the Dreamsicle color in the middle of this flower. But I'm going to take a little bit of that pink in the cotton candy, and I'm going to add just a tad of it on here. Kind of blend that in a little bit. It's not a whole lot of difference, but it will kind of give it, I'm taking some off. I'm just using a little bit. Just going to add all three colors in, and I think this will still be pretty. Just a little bit here and there. Blend in a little bit more of that pink. And this is an easy process, not hard at all. You put a little bit on the edge of your picture print if you want. Okay, let's paint this up. I'm going to put this on there. Grab a brush, hoe. It's been a rough few weeks. So you're going to work in the garden. Who's working in the garden? Miss Mary Snyder. I hope to get out there some today. My allergies were kicking up this morning, but they seem to be better. We have so many weather changes, and then it was cooler last night, but then it's been really hot, and it's going up to the 80s today. But I need to go make sure. Now I have to water the garden later today, y'all, because we are having sun. We're not going to have much rain, so I'll have to go out there and get the garden watered. We haven't had to water in a few days because of the rain. We had a lot of limbs down in the yard, and a lot of neighbors had limbs down, and you could hear the trees, the limbs snapping, and that was scary. We had like some straight line winds. Had some damage in parts of Alabama, and I think maybe Mississippi or Tennessee, one of those had some damage as well. So y'all just pray. Some people, I saw one girl, her mother's house was destroyed. The mother was asleep in the house and actually survived it, and the house was just a mess. So thank goodness the good Lord was with her. Y'all just keep praying, because this is the time of season for hurricanes, for tornadoes, all those things. When the weather gets like this and changes up and we have all this rain, we had flooding here. But we survived, so we're just thankful for that. Hey, Cindy Clark, how are you? Hope you're doing good today. Hope everybody's having a great week. It's hump day, so we're halfway there. And this weekend, just make plans to just be right in my sweet home living is doing our all things vintage and thrifted. It's the vintage and thrifted event, and that is Tracy's group is all things vintage and thrifted, and then she will be posting that in Craft Round the Clock as well. So just sit back, grab some coffee, tea, whatever you need, and just pick up some sales on Friday. I don't know what all they'll have for sale. I gotta be good. If I watch, I'll be wanting everything. Hey, Joyce, Crazy for Crafts. How are you today, friend? If you see my friends on here, give them a follow. And if you're on YouTube and you see my friends on here and they have a page name or they have their YouTube channel, go and give them a subscribe as well. We'll get that good and dried up. We're going to take some of our glue. All right. Whoopsie. That went flying off the table, man. That was crazy. It got a little squirrely. All right, let's put some quick and thick tight bond on here. I'll spread that out. And I try not to use hot glue if I can keep from it, especially on these molds, because it makes them kind of stick up. We're just going to put this at the top. This is just going to give it another little element. I'll let that dry up and then we'll put a little wax, or I think I'll put some of that first frost on it. Let's try that and let's see if I like it. Just a little touch. This is a metallic. Oh yeah, I like it. Just a little brush of it, not much. And that's all I'm gonna do. So we got this. This will sit on its own, but we can also put a block on the back. Here's the other one that I made for YouTube. Did the same thing on the sides, and I just left this one pretty simple, and this one definitely sits up on its own. That's the little bicycle that's in that group. So those two are in here. Let's put them over here out of the way. Now let's do a couple of frames. Let's do a couple of the frames. Y'all, I'm just pushing my paper all up. Getting crazy and wild here. All right, let's take these. You could also print these and cut these little frames out and put them on the frame. So if you want to do those, just do all kinds of things with them. Use them however you like. I love this print here. Let's do it. Let's see if we can get it on the square one. It's more of a square, and this is more of a rectangle, but it might work. It still might work. Let's see. I think it will. I think it will. This will still be cute on here. So we'll paint this frame up, and then we'll put a piece of that on there. I like that. Should we paint the frame? We can paint it. There is a little bit of also some, let's grab some green. Let's grab the sour apple. Let's make us a little bit of, okay. Let's take a little bit of that. And just know your glue does that, especially when it starts getting warmer and the weather change. That is the sour apple. I'm going to add a little bit of the chocolate souffle, and we'll make us a little paint color here, and we'll use it on there. I think that'll be pretty. Let me wet my brush. Y'all, I kind of have the dropsies this morning. I don't know why. Sometimes my hands do that, so you know, we use them a lot. That's what happens. And I've been gardening and doing some things, but I'm good. And I'm just going to change that color. It's going to match this as well. I'm going to paint that up. Let's just give this frame a paint color. You could also just dry brush it if you wanted to. I think we'll just paint the whole thing. We'll just give it a good paint here. Just paint. This is also Form Flex. I love the Form Flex. I'm not going to worry about painting too much on the inside. I'm just going to leave it just like that. And then once we put a sealer on it, it will be fine. Let's get a little bit more paint, just a tad. A little bit more of the brown. I'm just making kind of a sage color. That's all we're doing. That's better. I like that color better. I have to have a little bit more brown in there. A little bit more. Let's give that a paint up real quick. Touch that on the side. I'm going to add a little bit of water to my brush so it'll move. Sometimes if your brush isn't moving, just add your little water to it. And this is a chalk acrylic paint, and the pigments are made from the earth, so it's an earth-friendly product. And I do have that link in the comments. And if I miss somewhere, I can always go back. I'll let it dry a little bit and go back and paint it a little bit more, because I do see a couple little white spots. Sometimes you need to go back and paint those a little bit. Isn't that a pretty? Doesn't it look pretty? That was the sour apple and the chocolate souffle. Isn't that a beautiful sage? So if you were painting, and I know if you've watched me, you know I do this a lot. I love to mix colors because that's the way I get what I want. So always look at your print, see what colors you can possibly use from it, and grab one of those and mix some paint up if you don't have that color. And I will tell you, if you're starting out, hey, Nancy from Crafting Downstairs with Nancy. How's my friend today? Hope you're doing well. And there's Lisa. Hey, Jane. Let's see, one little place right there. Right in here. Right there. Okay, that'll work. Just kind of pouncing it in a little bit. And these are also bendable. And these make some cute little ornaments, shelf sitters, whatever you want to use them for. They're great for little ornaments. And if you have one of those little Victorian, if you have a tree that you love, leave up and like to decorate, it'd be really cute on one of those little Victorian trees. That's probably done. And I'm gonna tear a little bit of this. Let's see. I think we'll make sure that we get that part there in there. So let's just tear a little bit of this white off the edge. And y'all just use my fingers. I keep my thumb right where I'm gonna tear it. That'll keep you from tearing the whole thing. And if you tear more than you want, don't study that. It is okay to not be perfectly straight. If you want perfectly straight, then cut it. But otherwise, you can just tear it. Okay, that's going to be cute. I think that'll fit right in there. I'm going to make this fit. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Sometimes your fingers don't want to work, y'all. Just try your other hand. And sometimes this little bitty, you have to just end up cutting it, giving it a little cut. And that's okay too. So I think this is going to fit in there. I'm going to take that little edge off right there. And that's going to fit right in there. Let's just get it to where we don't have to worry about it being, okay, a little bit right here. We'll take it off. That's going to be cute on there, y'all. I like it. Let's just use a little bit of our Mod Podge. Get too much, just tap some off. I'm just going to put that in there. And this is the multi matte Mod Podge. I'm just going to put that right in there. That is cute. There we go. You can leave it just like this. Or you can take it and put some of the first frost on there, gold on there, silver, whatever color you want. I like it. I think we'll leave it like that. I'll let it, now this one I took out this morning. So it is still very, just a little bit wet. So we're gonna let it kind of dry up, and then I'll decide if we wanna hang it or if we wanna put a little block on the back on that one. So that one's really cute. Let's put it over here to kind of give it some dry. All right, and let's try one of these. And you can also put a piece of, you can use this frame either way you want. This is the one that you get from Amazon. So this is the little Amazon. If you want that is in my Amazon shop on my link tree. So you can go to my link tree and go to the little links at the bottom of my, if you're on Facebook, and you can get that. All right, let's see which other one. Let's do this. This one's a little bit different. And then we have the bicycle again and that same piece I was using. Let's see which one looks the best in this frame. I think this one. Let's try this one. So these are just to show you these prints. You can use any prints that you have and cut them down. You can set up your printer to do whatever size you want. And this is an oval, but this is going to still fit in there. It's going to fit behind it. And then you can put a little piece of cardboard on it to help give it some hold. That'll be perfect. And then you can use your Mod Podge, or you can just use some Elmer's glue. If you want to just use glue and water, you can do that. Okay. I'm just fitting it right on back. See how cute? And the little piece, like either a little piece of cardstock would work. I've got cardstock somewhere. A little piece of cardstock on the back, or a little piece of some light cardboard like this one here. Some little small cardboard on the back, and just cut it the same size as your print. Let's get this one painted. What color do we want to paint this one? Let's see. It goes with the flowers in here, so it could be painted in the Dreamsicle. It has more of the Dreamsicle color in this one. Do y'all like this color? You want to put the Dreamsicle on it? Does that look good? And I see Jane's with us today. Good to see you today. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate all the love. I gotta give you some hearts, right? Let's see if they'll work today. Y'all float me those hearts if y'all are liking what we're doing so far. If you don't like decoupage, you can do something else with these frames. All kinds of ideas, y'all. Some people just put little jewels in them. You can do anything that you want to do. Anything. Thank you for those hearts. I see Lori and Linda are with me today, and Bonnie. And if you don't mind letting me know on Facebook what state you're from, if I don't know where you're from, let me know. Tell me what state you're watching from, and that helps us kind of see where people are coming from and who's watching us, how far we're reaching out. I appreciate that. So I'm an Alabama girl. I always lived in Alabama. I've never lived in another state. I've lived in all kinds of the city, and I went to college in Alabama, so I lived in the dorm for a while, and so I've just always been in the state. I love traveling to other states. We had such a good time on our trip traveling to Virginia. I've been to Virginia, but it's been quite a while, so I loved going to Roanoke. I don't know if I have been there. It wasn't for a long, I used to ride a motorcycle, so I've been to a lot of states that I don't remember, and some of those things I'm kind of don't want to remember. But, so I've been to states, but I'd forgotten, and maybe I didn't spend a lot of time there. So it was really fun to go there. We went to a pinball museum and played pinball and just had a good time. Went to the big star on the hill. If y'all know that city, you know they have that big star. It was freezing cold that day. That's probably maybe how we got sick. Maybe it knocked our immunity system down a little bit after we've been in this heat here for so long. It was very cold and rainy that day. So these are not hard to paint. You just want to make sure you get all of that white. And sometimes you don't see it till after you have started painting it and you have to go back and touch it up, but it's not hard to touch up at all. So if y'all have never used Formflex, Tammy is a small woman-owned business. This is, I love it because it molds, it bends, so you can place it on bottles, jars, all those things. And some of these I am going to be putting probably on some jars. Y'all know I love some jars and bottles, so I love these. I know that Kelly did a bottle with it, with one of the prints. And again, if you like these prints, just put link in the comments and I'll go back and answer that and put the link in for Kelly. I don't actually sell it. I'm doing this for her today. She's shared her video on the one she did on her bottle. Y'all hold on, let me get a little bit of that off. I think we about worn that one out. We'll get rid of it. So you can make these up. They say make them up the day before, let them sit overnight, and they do better. And I will tell you, they do. Now these this morning, I left them under the fan and under my light that I have, and they dried up pretty quick. They are still a little bit flexible, so just be careful with them using them, but they'll do fine. You can put them on all kinds of things. Candles, I'm gonna put one on a candle. I probably won't have time with you, but I think I will put maybe one of these prints on the candle. Those are just the dollar store inexpensive candles if you can still find them. I haven't been to the dollar store in a while. I just got disappointed the last few times I've gone to ours and they have nothing, so I just stopped. The San Juan Island, let's see. You're in Western Washington State on one of the San Juan Islands. Oh, that is awesome, Lori. I bet you have some beautiful, beautiful views. I bet you see God's beauty every day. So last night I tried to take a picture of the sunset and I could see it through our window and I didn't get out there quick enough, and it was, the orange was out there and it was just stunning. Now when we went to one of, I'm trying to think of what state we were in. So when we were on the interstate going to Philadelphia, we saw a lot of beautiful sunrises, sunsets, all those things, because we were stopped quite a bit. It was start and stop all the way up. It was, I think we used to use our Mod Podge. It was a start and stop quite a bit going up that way. It was so much traffic on the road, and they had a lot of construction still around that. Smoky Mountains, they still have a lot of construction around there, even on the interstate that goes around. So if you're going up that way, be prepared to start and stop. We decided we weren't going to the Smoky Mountains this time. I do want to go once they get some more of those things fixed up. And we're going to put it in like this. This is our top. And I put the Mod Podge so I can kind of still move it around to where I want. Oh, that is pretty. I'm going to move it just slightly. Just a little bit right here. Just going to turn it just, it's not quite straight. There we go, that might do it. Oh, that's pretty. Look, y'all, how pretty. Isn't it gorgeous? I love that. That's pretty. Let's dry that a little bit so that it won't stick to my, shouldn't stick to this paper, but let's give it a quick little dry right there on the back. Then I'll just cut a piece of this little cardboard and put it on the back, or a piece of cardstock. Now, what I could have done is print these in cardstock. So you can print them any kind of paper you want. They are a download. All right, y'all, and I'll probably cut that edge right there so that doesn't show like that. Let's take a little bit of that first frost, since we still have some, and let's just give it a little, oh, I like the first frost on there. That kind of gives it a little look. I like that too. I'm just gonna put this on. So grab you some, if you haven't ever tried using molds before, you just got to be patient. And this material here, she does it and then puts it in the freezer for 20 minutes, and that's what I do, and I get the best results. And then when you're pulling it out of your mold, this one's flexible. Let me get this one. when you're pulling it out of your mold, the secret to getting it out after you freeze it is that you want to pull your edges just like this. So I had one here. I would pull here and here, 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 just very gentle. That's going to release it, and then it's going to come straight out. So you just want to make sure that you're releasing it. That's the secret. Don't turn them over if you're using the Formflex. Pop them out this way. Just gentle, gentle. Pull it, and that you can see that it comes off, and then you just take it straight out of your mold. Very easy, very easy. Not hard at all to use the product. So I like to tell you when there's a product that I like so that you can try it and make your own decision. But I do like the product. So look how pretty that green is on there. Can y'all see that? Isn't that gorgeous? Good morning, DIY with Crafty Sarah. So I didn't see, did somebody else tell me where they were from? I know Miss Mary lives close, not too far from the beach, and she moved there because she loves it there. So that looks good. I love that one too. So then I will do something else with some of these others. Let me show you these again. I love these. These are little stacks of books, and they've got a little cloche on them and cups. Y'all know I love some coffee cups. And I love this one stacked. And I think I'll do this one. I do have a piece of cardboard I might use, or I don't think these are big enough, but I might use a board similar to this and put it on there. And then I might put it on a little tray, which you can get and make your own little trays with some of the stuff from Dollar Store, or a candlestick. Let's see if we can fit one of these on here. I think we can. Let's take one of these. I love this one with that cup inside the cloche. Let's try this real quick. We got a few minutes. Let's see if we can get this one done real quick. Y'all, my stomach's growling like it's hungry, and I did eat breakfast. It's not even lunchtime. Some days it's like that. Next, I'm going to pour that one on the edge there, but it's okay. We're not going to sweat it. And I'm going to tear this one. Because sometimes it tears one way, and then sometimes it tears the other. Okay. Let's pour it off. And it's okay if you got a little bit off that one. They don't have to be perfect. Just going to trim that off just a little bit. We'll take this off. We'll get this on. Let's go ahead and put our, while I'm doing that, let's go ahead and put our Mod Podge and let that be kind of sitting there just a minute. There it is. You can use Mod Podge, you can use the other medium I use. Any of those will work. And this is just a little bitty piece of scrap wood. Just a little bitty piece of scrap wood that I found in my stash. We'll let that kind of sit there a minute. Get a little bit of that fan on it and dry that a little bit. Let's take this off. So these are cute. Just whatever you want to do. Also, I think I might take, and I'll have to do this one off camera, I think I will do a little stenciling with this one. So I think that would be pretty with this. I might do a little stenciling. Should have done that before I did the, but that's okay. We can put a print on there and you can stencil around it or stamp around it. Oh, stamping would be pretty. Yeah, we got a minute. I like the stamping idea. All right, let's do that. I'm liking the stamping, so we might dry it. I won't be a, somebody, I don't know who is after me today. We did change our schedule a little bit again. Y'all, this is the time of year. Summertime is the time that everybody's busy and things are going on. Kids are graduating. They're having all kinds of sports and things that they have to do. And so people are busy. And when their kids get out of school, they're busy. So we do have to fill in some. So y'all hang with us if you see us several times. I'll be on again tomorrow. I'm not in the Fun Friday, but I will be here tomorrow. And I'm going to stamp this one. So let me get that dry real quick. I do have the green stamp. I've got a brown. The writing on here is kind of a little bit of greenish, kind of blackish. So I've got brown ink. I've got the bundled sage, which might be too much. And then I have black. So y'all give me, so it's now time for me to end. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp the background of this and give it a little bit more of a look. And I will take a picture of everything that I've done today and post it to Craft Round the Clock and on my page in my group. And y'all give a watch there and stay tuned for the next creator up right now. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you being here with me on Facebook and on YouTube today. Thank you for being here. Please leave me a comment, a heart, and a thumbs up.